When I was at Jerry Spence's Trial Lawyers College, I brought in a special guest to talk. He wasn't a lawyer. I don't think he'd ever been to trial. He was an Asian gentleman, and he brought with him a young woman. She set up a harp and played harp music for us. It turns out that this Asian gentleman was the conductor of the Jackson Orchestra. I don't know the official name of it. I just know that he was the conductor. And the harps played her music, and we were taught about the way that music and tones meld into beauty. After the session ended, everybody left to go to lunch, and I stayed and talked to the conductor. I had a question I wanted answered. I said to him, "How is it that you're able to control everybody in the orchestra with just a gesture?" Perhaps the most important lesson I learned that day was his answer that followed. He explained how it was that you can express emotion with the slightest movement of your hand, because hands are so important. You can say to someone, "Come to me." You can say, "Stop." You can say, "A little bit lower." You want to have something higher? There are all sorts of gestures that you can make that send a message that can either be concordant with what you're saying or dissonant with it. A very powerful gesture that you can give to the jury is where you're talking about an exchange. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we have looked at this, and as we talk about this with each other, and you can go on from there. This is a very powerful gesture. He talked about these things with me and how people don't think of hands. The reason I asked him the question was that my father did talk about hands. I can recall him talking to me when I was a young man, and he would say to me, "People don't understand the power of hands," and he would turn his hands over like this, and he would say, "They are mechanically so perfect. They are communicatively so powerful. They are a source of comfort. They are a gesture." Perhaps he had set me up for this conversation with the maestro, but I was so interested in talking to the maestro because my father had shared that experience with me and his insights. My father was one of the greatest speakers I had ever heard. He grew up on a depression farm. His father was a coal miner, and he and his brothers and sisters ran the farm. In high school, his father wanted him to drop out of school and go to work in the mines, and my dad would not, because he wanted a high school diploma. My dad qualified to go to the state forensics championship in public speaking, and when my grandfather heard that, he went out and bought my dad a suit because he didn't want my dad from the backwaters of Oklahoma near the Arkansas border looking like a hayseed in the big city. Well, my dad didn't look like a hayseed in the big city. When he came back from that, he had won the state championship. My dad understood the gesture. The maestro understood the gesture. I am still working on learning the gesture, incorporate it into your repertoire, and become far more powerful. If you find this helpful, you can find other postings at youngontrials.com. You can also sign up for my email list where we'll send you out notices of important developments. I'm Steve Young, and I'll see you in court.